Good morning, everyone. How you guys doing on this beautiful sunny day? The sun is out. The sun is out. It's feel about 70 degrees right at this moment. So if it's 70 degrees, we definitely looking forward to at least a 80 today. This garden season was pretty challenging. Pretty challenging. So I'm gonna do some things a little different next garden season. I'm gonna do some things a little different because I've realized now that theirs is a wrong now. And the theirs them give me, hey Sugar Roadie, what's up? Morning, wonderful day to you. What's going on? Good to see you, good to see you. Yes, beautiful day. Yes, so I've realized that a lot of days coming around now and they attack some of my plants this year. But I'm grateful because they didn't they didn't do much damage. They eat down some of my pepper, they eat some of my pumpkin leaf. I'm grateful, but I'm just feeling that next year might be even more challenging because now they come in your garden now. So next year I'm planning on doing different things. Also, we have a lot of deer as well, doing a lot of things. So not deer, squirrel. We have a lot of squirrel too. Good morning, shine your light. How you doing? Good morning. How you guys doing this morning? Good to see you all, man. Good to see you all on this beautiful morning. Yes, guys, today, really today, I'm gonna show you guys right now. Let me tell you guys what I'm actually doing now. We in the fall, and in the fall, what I do, I put my garden to rest. I'm gonna show you down in here, and I'm gonna give you an idea. The reason why I garden the way I garden. Now, when you look around here, you see all these trees up in there, up in trees, all the leaf everywhere, right? When we hit the fall, all these leaves drop, all everything dry down, and the area goes to rest. The plants them goes to sleep. Everything goes to rest. All right, so now all the micro and everything that walks in the soil have its time to walk within that period of time. Meaning compost is getting breakdown. Everything is getting breaking down and thus it getting prepared for the spring. Then in the spring now, the something electrify happen and everything just wake up. So all the compost that was in the ground mixing and all these creatures, all these bacteria in the soil that keep walking during the spring, during the winter, during the fall into the winter is very important for us to rest our soil. I'm not telling you you have to rest, but it's important to rest your soil. And today I'm gonna show you guys me starting to put my soil at rest. All right, right now the garden season is still going on, so the area is still green, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Because you cannot wait until the winter to start doing it. You have to start making all your preparation now. Now you see all these leaves right here, all these gonna dry down and these gonna eventually turn compost for the soil. All right. if you notice what I'm actually doing here, this is my fruit tree, but if you notice, you're gonna see what I already start doing. I'm already putting all these leaves around them. So basically I'm already working on putting the soil to rest. In this area here, you're gonna see the same thing. This is a bed right here, but I already start putting the bed to rest by adding these type of compost around. You see, it's already start breaking down. If you look to the bottom there, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. So these are the things you do when you're doing a natural garden. This is a garden that, this is the type of garden that you do not use chemical, you do not use any form of thing. So now you got to do it the natural way and allow these weeds. Okay, this is an apple tree right here, but all these weeds, I'm not gonna pull them up. If you notice what I'm feeding the apple tree with, you're gonna see I'm adding these type of stuff around it, and then these gonna dry down. And when they dry down, they're gonna come compost and build up around this apple tree. All right, same thing goes on here. This is another apple tree right here. So this is basically how we do it, guys. We add these type of stuff. You see, if you notice here, you're gonna see what we have buried here. We have all type of wood, and then no, we ain't gonna pull these up. We're gonna leave them here. They're gonna cover, and we're gonna leave them here. And guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna break down, and they're gonna eventually start feeding these plants for next season. You see, all in this is a bed I have here as well, but the pumpkin vines has run through it. But if you notice what I'm doing, I'm already start putting the soil to rest during the fall, during the winter. If you notice here again, this is another apple tree. Look what I have to the apple tree. I have all these things growing, all these things around the apple tree. Now these leaves, as you see, gonna run up around it, and they're gonna dry, and they're gonna become food for this apple tree. All right, so now the banana tree. This is a banana tree, but if you notice, this banana tree is pushing up a lot of small one. This is the next one here. This is 2. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one is pulling up 7. Now, I'm gonna show you guys stuff that I do. And this is what maintain my garden. This is how I maintain my garden naturally, because like I mentioned to you, this is not a garden where we go to the store and we buy stuff to throw around anything. We actually use what we have in this garden and make it work, and it work beautiful. All right, so now we have some banana tree here, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these banana. Now we already know that these banana tree is not going to produce anything for this garden season, and we also know that these banana, if you ain't be careful, what's going to happen, the winter will dry them down to the ground, just like this one, and then they will have to start over from scratch. So our plan is to do something different this year, because we need to be eating from these banana tree. So we're going to be doing something different this year, which I'm going to be showing you in a few minutes. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of things today. A lot of things I'm going to be showing you today. Same thing here. We have another banana tree here. And if you notice what we feed them with So basically, we actually putting our soil to rest. All right. So what we're doing, we allowing everything to do what it's done, and in the fall, everything gonna dry down in the garden and just remain in the garden. And then what we're gonna do, we just leave them there, and it's actually gonna become compost. Now, let me show you a few things that I'm gonna be doing here, because like I said, I'm actually putting the soil to rest. So this is a raised bed, as you can see. And what I'm doing, I'm adding these weeds in the raised bed. Because you see, what I'm actually doing here, I'm actually maintaining the soil. And sometimes cover crop is really good for you to help protect your soil during the winter season, because you got to remember as well, there's creatures that dwells in our soil during the winter, and you want to also make them as comfortable that they could do their job for you. So this is what I was doing all through the summer, all through the spring. I was taking these weeds, and throw them out in the garden, and I was throwing them in this pile. So now if you see what I'm doing here, I'm actually taking these same weeds and add them in my raised bed. You see, so this is how I put my soil to rest in the fall. So I'm not doing anything, I'm not planting anything, I just put it to rest. So now all these in the spring gonna break down. All these in the spring gonna break down and actually feed our soil in the spring. So all you gotta do now in the spring, what you do, you take a shovel and you turn it over. You turn it over, and then you prepare your soil, and your soil ready for plant. Okay, so now guys, let me actually show you what I'm doing here. So now, as you see what I'm doing, I'm spreading these out. I'm actually doing two jobs at the same time. I'm spreading these out, and also I'm protecting the soil at the same time. So putting our garden to rest in the fall, I think, is a very important thing to do. You see guys, I've been using this, I've been saving this all through the the, the summer. You see how it look now? It actually look like it's look like it's, watch. You see, free compost, guys. Free natural compost. So all you see what I'm doing? I'm actually preparing my beds from now for the spring. So let me get my shovel. I need my shovel. Okay. Okay, so this is my shovel. Now guys, I want to show you guys exactly. I want to show you guys exactly what I use my banana for. Like I was telling you a little while ago, these banana plant, I'm only going to show you one, how I'm going to do one of them. These banana plant, very soon, the winter going to come and the winter going to dry them down. Now the winter going to dry them down to the ground, just like this one. Just like this one. I don't want that to happen. You see, I don't want that to happen. And because they're going to have to start back from new. No. Let me show you what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do here today, I'm going to cut one of them right across here. And then basically I'm going to cut all of them right across there. But I'm going to show you one. And I'm going to protect the body of the plant. So next season, instead of it start from the ground, it's gonna start from up here. So now the body gonna be getting more mature. That's how you're able to get fruit from the banana tree, because when you're dealing with cold temperature, if you're in a tropical, it's different. But when you're dealing with cold temperature, it's just, you got to do things a lot different. Okay, so now let me show you exactly what I'm doing. Now this is a banana. I'm gonna chop it down. All right. Okay. This is you could use these for many different things. You could use these for many different things. You could use these for, I remember my grandmother used to use, like if you have back pain, like if you're pain, your back hurting you, you're gonna take this, grease down your back, and put this, wrap this around your back, and tie it. I mean, these things have their benefit. But no, today, what we actually gonna be doing, we actually gonna be using them to protect the roots of these banana plants. Because now we want these banana plants to be able to produce. So if you want them to produce, you have to be able to figure out what you need to do to get them to produce. So you basically making the root and the body of the plant comfortable. So once you're able to do that, so what I'm actually gonna be doing, I'm gonna be building up a pile around this, a pile. Because you wanna protect the body. Just like this one, you wanna protect. So like I mentioned, next season, instead of it start from the ground, it's gonna start from up there. So every year it's gonna get more mature until that time come for producing. And also it feeds the plants at the same time. It's food for the plant, and it also protection for the root. All right. So now this is the body. This is the body of the banana, and in some cases you could also add these into your raised bed. In some cases you could add these into your raised bed. So this is how we do our thing, guys. This is how we do our thing. It's very important to protect the root of the plant. It's very important. But the banana plant have a lot of water inside of it. Lots of water. So if you ain't be careful, what happen is In the winter, it freezes up. You see, it froze up and then the whole plant just dry right down to the ground. I'm not trying to do that because I see it happen last year and I want to see something different this year. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be protecting the root, even the small ones them. I'm going to be protecting them as well. This is just the beginning, guys. We ain't getting away yet on this process. This is just the beginning, but you have to start. And this is how we consider putting our garden to sleep in the fall. In my cases, I do not plant anything in the fall. What I try to do in the fall, in the spring, this is why I put in the warmth now. I try to prepare my garden from now, go right back to the winter. My garden season never finish. It just continue and continue. So what I do, I prepare now. Even though the garden season is still blooming, still full of food, still full, but I'm starting now to put my soil together, start preparing it. So when the frost come and hit everything and dry down everything, I mix it in the soil in the spring, in the winter. So in the spring, my soil ready for plant. Let's go up here and check out what I'm doing up here. Okay, so now I want to show you guys this. Hey Fifi Urban Homestead, how you doing? Good to see you. What's going on? All right. Yes. Now, this compost, this is an area where I did grow some pigeon peas, right? And I try to protect the pigeon peas, but what happened is I remove the stuff from around the pigeon peas too fast. So when the frost comes, it just hit them and dry them out. Since the pigeon peas dry out, good morning everyone. Thank you guys for being here. Truly appreciate you guys. All right. I'm not watching the screen, so you mightn't hear me hail you out, but I just want to say thank you guys. I appreciate you all. But anyhow, in this area now, I'm gonna show you guys. You see, listen to me. I show you guys. I try to show you guys the real thing. I try to show you guys everything from the scratch. You guys remember in this garden season when I was pulling up the weed out the garden and I was piling them right up here. Right up here. I was piling up everything here. Look how fast this thing was breaking down. Look how fast. This is just a few months old and look how fast this been breaking down. If you notice, you're gonna see ants. You see ants walking around, and I guarantee you there's a lot of parasite in here that you're not even seeing. But now look what I'm doing with this. I'm adding it to my raised bed. You just wanna add a layer because you don't wanna add too much. After this, when I done add this, I'm gonna add some soil on top of it, which is important. Because you never want your compost to overpower your soil. You see guys? Free compost. And this is really good for containers as well. If you notice guys, you're gonna see pine straw. A lot of people don't believe in pine straw, but I'm telling you all, So they start using some pine shine all the raised bed. But you see? So just like this, guys, I'm putting my garden to rest. I'm putting the soil to rest. Meanwhile, I'm adding a lot of beneficial nutrients to the soil. So I'm actually putting it to rest. Let me just, this, I'm gonna leave a few of this because I think I'm gonna need this for for some of my containers. But I just want to show you guys exactly what I'm doing. So let me reason with you guys for a moment now. Yes. All right. Shout out to each and everyone. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all so much for coming out this morning on this beautiful day. But if you notice, it's so blessed, how you doing? If you notice what's going on in my garden right at this moment, if you notice, you're gonna realize that the garden is still productive. You're gonna realize the garden is still full of food. You're gonna realize the garden is still green. But at the same time, you're welcome. But at the same time, I'm still putting in the work in the soil. And this is what I'm telling you guys. To do a natural garden where you don't go to the store and buy different things, believe it or not, it takes a lot of work. But the reward is great. You see what I'm saying? Look at here. This is an apple tree that a plum tree that I have here. Do you see what I have around it? I'm start prepping, I'm start protecting the soil so the soil could rest in the winter. So rest in the fall and into the winter. So now into the spring, when the spring come and everything else did their job during that season, under the same type of leaf that you putting in your garden or in your container. Hey David, how you doing? All right, thank you. Yes, so this is basically, if you notice here, you see what I'm doing, guys? This is what I'm doing. I'm putting everything to rest. So the soil, once you put the soil to rest in the spring when everything start refreshing, this is how your soil become rich, natural and rich. And then when you plant your food, them, everything just start growing wild. Why? This is how you guys think. I know so much about these plants because I studied them 100 times. You see, we have flowers. We always try to bring our flowers because this is pollinators. This is marigold. You see, look at me right there, matter of fact. You see it? Right. We try to draw our pollinators around. You know, our fruit trees. We've been putting these fruit trees to sleep already because they don't produce already. If you notice, they already produce their fruit. So we've been feeding them. We've been feeding them all through the spring. So now next garden season, and this tree is growing really nice too. Next garden season, this thing gonna be ready to prepare. Ready to start growing some nice vegetables. All right. So we have a lot of fruit trees growing. A lot of fruit trees. We have, man, there's so much we have. The garden, listen me guys, I don't know if you guys know, but I ain't harvest yet. My harvest did not begin as yet because I still have all my edibles, and this is one of my main crop. This is the shisho, and as you can see, the shisho attract bees. So You see what I'm saying? Watch, look what's going on. So the shesho, as we see, as we know, attracts pollinators. We see the attract butterfly, we see the attract bees. Look how many bees over there that they are attracting. So this is a beautiful plant to have. They produce a lot of seed. That's what I can say. You see? They produce a lot of seed. You see? Bees all in your face when you have these plants. Yes, so now we have these edos that's becoming pretty soon. We have pumpkin. So right at this moment, in my zone, our last frost is in November. So I still have at least, let me see, we're in September. I still have like 2 months before harvest time. So if you notice over here again, we actually growing cassava. And the body of this cassava is getting thick. The body is getting thick. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. I'll truly appreciate it. Double tap on the screen and hit that like button, guys. I appreciate it. Yes. So now these are my cassava. And if you notice, guys, what I've been feeding these cassava with, all these dry leaves, I've been burying them around the cassava. And let me show you how tall they are. Right now, they about 14 feet right at this moment. 14 feet right at this moment. Also, we have yam. We have yam. This is an update on the yam. These yams, I start them indoors. This is actually yam growing here that we start indoors, and they're doing their thing. I could tell you that they're doing their thing. All right, so let's go back to resting the soil and why it's important to rest in your soil. I'm going to show you guys a few things here. Now, in the garden season, what happened is these plants that we have growing in the garden season, these plants actually suck a lot of nutrients out of the soil. A lot of nutrients. They suck all the nutrients, they suck all the minerals out of the ground. So now in the fall is the time when you come and you start to get that soil back together for the next garden season. This is when you start to add whatever you add in. Don't know what you add, but you see what I add. This is the time when you start adding back these things to your soil, because now what's going to happen is going to regenerate the soil for the next season. So by the time the next garden season comes, your soil already prepared and ready for the plants. You never allow your plants to wait for your soil. Your soil should be waiting for your plants. Now, when you look at over here, if you notice, you're going to see a lot of these. Many people are going to say, why would you put these? Because they already have seeds. Well, remember this, guys. The seed is we bring them back. The seed, we cannot get rid of these seed. We cannot try to get rid of our weed before these seed. This is how we getting rid of our really important crops. And we're not seeing them. We need these so just like how they have the seed now, they're going to dry down and they're going to germinate and they're going to come back. This is what you want. These plants, if you notice what they're doing, they're covering the soil. You see, these plants covering. So when they cover, and in the fall now, they dry down. And when they dry down, they remain right there on top of it, covering the soil. No. In the winter, what you do, you come with a fork and you dig it and you mix it in. Late winter, you mix it into the soil and then you allow it for the spring. So it's very important to allow this soil to rest. Very important. And that's why we might say, yeah, but we got to go. Listen, me, guys, don't get me wrong. I'm not here telling you not to grow a fall garden. That's not what I'm saying. I'm showing you what's going on in my garden and why it's important for me to rest my soil. Because guess what? If I was not resting this soil, what would have happened is this soil would have get sunny and real dry. Why? Because I've been growing here for a long time. The same place for a long time. So this is why I'm saying it's very important for us to rest our soil. Very important. Even in the container, it's important to rest your soil. Why? Because you got to remember again, the soil have to rejuvenate. And if you ain't rejuvenate the soil, it's not gonna give you the production you're looking for. So you got to make sure that the soil rests. But I understand, guys, don't get me wrong. I understand that everyone have their own way of growing. And I understand that everyone have the space that they can, grow out as much as they want, that they can rest their soil. So I'm not here to discredit that. I'm just here to say, even though you decide to grow a fall garden, make sure you mix some natural compost in it. Make sure you do that. So meanwhile the plant is growing, you still have that natural compost inside, breaking down. You see what I'm saying? So after the crop, this might break down in time for the spring, so that the other plants, when the spring come, the other plants can ready to take these nutrients. Number one, a lot of things we have also that takes a long time to break down. Something takes a very long time to break down, and something takes maybe 6 months, and they already turn into compost, already feeding the soil. So you got to look for these things. A lot of the weeds that grows up in your garden, some of them break down very fast. So don't throw them away. Don't throw them all away. Let me show you what you do with them. You create a pile, you create an area, and you just throw them all inside of it. And what happens is, it breaks down and it becomes food for your plant. You see what I'm saying, guys? So this is what I'm doing now. I'm actually putting my garden to rest for the fall while it continue growing, while it continue producing. I'm doing it now, so it will all be ready for the spring. Now I'm going to show you guys what I do. I'm going to show you a little of what I do. Now if you notice, between these okras, between the okra them, you're going to see, you see what you see between them? Okay, let me show you what I do now. So what I do, I'll come and I'll take the shovel and I'll push it down, and I'll take some soil and I'll put it on top of it. You see what I'm saying? I'll put it on top of it. Now, after I do this, I just leave it. I just leave it until springtime. Meanwhile, I still have my okra them growing. I still have my okra them growing. But at the same time, I'm still maintaining my soil. I'm still putting my garden to rest. Because as soon as the frost hit, everything here will be dry, will dry up. As soon as the frost hit. So this is ways of putting your garden to sleep, guys. Putting your soil to rest during the garden season, during the fall, during the winter. But this video is not telling you not to grow a fall garden. That's not what it tells you. When you're growing in zone, let me give you a little idea of what I think. And why I'm saying this is because why I'm saying this is because I'm actually doing it. And if I'm able to do it, if you're living in this zone, you should be able to do it too. Like for instance, you have to study the plants them that produce for a long period of time. You got to study these type of plants. You got to study the plants them that you can be harvesting from for a long period of time. And these are the plants you got to think about growing. So when you grow these type of plants, your garden will continue producing all through the year until that frost come and hit your garden. You see what I'm saying? All through the year. Look where we at now. We in November, September. But look what going on. And you know when I plant these food in the spring. Every one of them is in the spring. I plant the edos, the pumpkin, the cassava, the pepper. All these things is in the spring. But guess what? They're still here and I could eat from them anytime. You see what I'm saying? If I need some edo leaf, I could eat some edo leaf. If I need shisho, I can eat shisho. You see what I'm saying? Whatever I want. So these are the things. I need pepper, I can get pepper. Whether hot or whether... This is how I think. Well, I could say I think. I don't want to say garden supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to feed from that garden all through the garden season until that spring hit you. That's what I think. All right. Okay. So guys, this is a female pumpkin. This is a female pumpkin. Now, if this pumpkin open up the top and it ain't get pollinated, this is not gonna turn into a pumpkin. No, that's the female, this the male. This male have to pollinate this in order for this to turn a pumpkin. Now, if you notice here, this leaf is hiding them, right? Now, sometimes when the bees ain't come around, sometimes the wind could create the pollination process. So sometimes these leaf is actually hiding the process of pollinating. Why? Because the bees ain't come around. So now I remove a few leaf. So this male right here stand a better chance of pollinating this if there's no bees. And you know, it's thing, but this is where gardening reach. Gardening reach now where we gotta be thinking and planning how to get our garden successful. Naturally, we have to sit down and think and plan because the pollinators that used to be doing the job, you hardly seeing them. So now you got to do the job. You see? The pollinators who was doing the job. Oh, okay. All right. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Pretty mature one. Oh, God, this pumpkin is so heavy. You see what I'm saying? The pollinators who's supposed to do the job for us, it ain't here anymore. So it's like we now have to do the job. So now gardening come now where we have to think. We have to actually think it out and plan it out in order for us to be successful. For real. Okay, let me try this edo here, guys. This is an edo plant. These edo, oh God, they struggle this year. I want to see. Okay, all right, all right, all right. All right, guys, all right. This is Edo's, guys. This is actually Edo's. Oh, man. Everything was up. Yo, I just decided to try a little, just try a hole, man, and look what's going on. I get a few Edos. Wow. This is what we call Edos, guys. We've been talking about this for months. Finally, it become to a place now where we could actually start harvesting. So now, if I really need a pot, I realize I can start harvesting Edos and cook. And believe it or not, you see, believe it or not, it still have more Edos there. Now, let me show you what I'm gonna be doing with this now. Now, this is the head of the Edo. You see, this is why this garden will always have food. This garden will always have food. Watch here. What we do, we take this and we bury it back down in the hole and we just cover it. You see? That food will be coming back for next garden season. Yes. So when I say you have to study your garden, you got to study your plant, you got to be your own scientist, you got to be everything in the garden, because garden is getting more difficult every year, because now you got to plan for the deers like me, you got to plan for the squirrel, you got to plan for everything. You got to plan because the pollinators, them not pollinating. So you got to sit down and think about how you going to get your garden pollinated. How your pumpkin them going to get pollinated. How your squash going to get pollinated. You have to actually go into the garden now and do that type of work, which years gone by, we didn't have to worry. We know for a fact that our garden was going to get pollinated regardless. You see what I'm saying? But now we have to be physical in our garden now, trying to make sure that stuff get pollinated. Guys, oh man, I'm tired of this monkey pepper, I'm telling you right now. And they ripen so fast. And then they producing so fast. If you look to the top there, if you look to the top there, they producing so fast. I mean, you don't hear these type of words, guys. You tired harvest something. You know what I'm saying? But this is how it is, man. This is how it is. And this has always been working for me. So whatever I'm doing is working for me. And that's what you got to do. You got to be your own scientist in your garden. Oh, man, look at this. All right, guys, this is my pepper tree. It finally reached 9 feet tall, which break the record last year of a bell pepper tree. That, yeah, I need them. You see I bypass them, right? You see I leave them alone, right? I ain't trying to harvest them today at all. But yes, guys, this is a 9-foot pepper tree. Look. Let me show you how far is it. Look, watch. I got to send up my matcha D to reach the top up there. This is, I look, it have pepper all the way up there. And this thing is so crazy, watch. It have blossom right to the top. If you notice, I had also put this stick to keep it up. And I keep tying. You see, guys, I use anything and tie. I'm not running to the store and buy nothing. I use anything and tie them up. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, look at it. I have to push the match. What you see? That is machete right up there. And if you notice, there's pepper blast up right to the top. And I harvest some the other day, and it's still full with peppers. Look from over this side here, loaded with pepper over here. I don't know if you guys see it. Okay, this one have a little bun. I don't know what happened there, but oh, Rick, I didn't break it. Yes, break record. I break my old record from last year. Last year was 8 feet. This one is actually 9 feet tall. At 9 feet and peppers everywhere, man. You could see? Okay, all right. Yes. 9 feet tall pepper tree, guys. I mean, I think you guys know how passionate I am about my pepper trees anyway. I think you guys know by now. I take pride in growing these things, eh? Okay. All right. So I picked 2. I have 2. And yes, and I'm going to show you now. Fifi, this is the cassava tree. Oh, check this out. From down here, even I push my matcha, there is nowhere close. You see up there? It's nowhere close to reach the top. And it's 2 of them, but if you notice how they spread, right? And check out their body, man. Their body look like tough. It feel like stick. Yes, guys. So, guys, why I'm showing you guys these things, man, for the people who follow me, she know that I try to show the whole process in gardening. I try to show everything. I try to show how I plant them. I try to show how I take care of them. Like this morning, there was a young man who helped plant these bell pepper here. And this morning, he come and and I tell him harvest all the peppers from the tree. All the peppers from the tree. These goats did me, not goats, deer. These deer, like they didn't want me to grow a 8 feet pepper tree this year. They come and they was just biting down my plants, them everywhere. But guess what? I make it over there. And this one is 7 feet right now. This one is 7 feet. It didn't reach 8 feet yet, but it's 7 feet. And look at this bell pepper here. Ain't this thing big? So the reason why I'm showing you guys these things is because I'm trying to show the results. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to show the result because everyone who follow me knows that I show the process. Okay, let me see if Fifi's saying, hold on. Let me read the chat now, okay. Oh, it gets so tall, mine is very short. I have it in container besides. It's tough growing cassava in my zone. So, but still try. Yeah. If you don't try, you will never know. So you did the right thing. I try them in both container and in ground because I wanted to see the result from both of them. So far, the one in container is doing well, but is not as tall as this one over here. But they're doing well. But yes, guys, from growing the way I grow my food, I've seen so much things that I never seen before. Never seen pepper tree that huge. Never seen it before. That, that tall. I never seen it before. So it shows me that we really don't need to use a lot of things that we use today. We can actually do without it. And this is a prime example of that. And what I do on this channel, I try to show you what I'm doing. I'm not telling you you have to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm just showing you that there's things you can do and still be successful. Hey Renee Secret, how you doing? He was so happy to have it. Yes, 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 yes. He was so happy, man. Come and have, you know, this is the thing, man. We got to encourage these kids, man. Wonderful, wonderful. We got to encourage these kids because I'm telling you, he planted them, the deer was messing with them, but he was still able to have a nice harvest. And I mean, it's a joy, man. It's a joy to see the smile on his face this morning. Come and harvest some pepper, and I also gave him a pumpkin, some okra. I mean, he make out pretty well this morning. So it's all about encouraging them and showing them the works that you put in could always give you rewards. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Yes, guys, so it's all about gardening. So what I'm telling you guys today, I'm telling you all to sit down. This is the fall. Sit down and plan for next garden season. Take some time. All right, let me see. Yes, let them experience the reward. Yes, yes, that's how they learn, from the experience. All right, so blessed. Thank you, thank you. Yes, so it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. So what I'm gonna challenge you guys with today is sit down with yourself. Maybe you could draw pen or paper and plan the things you wanna plant. Plan out next garden season, what you wanna do, what you wanna grow. Plan it out. Think about the things that benefit you. Think about the things that you love, and grow the things that you love. Grow that, grow a few herbs. Plan it out in your own way. Plan it out in your own way. Create something in your own way. And you will feel good about it, I'm telling you. Gardening is one of the most amazing thing you could ever come across. It's so much to learn in this thing. It's so much. It's not even about just growing the food and learning about the food. It's the experience of different things and how different things happen. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to say, man, happy gardening, guys. And don't give up. Even if it come with challenging, do you understand? This year, do you understand that this year was one of my most challenging year in gardening? Meaning, I had also to deal with the squirrel, and I also had also to deal with the deer, and I also had also to deal with the not getting pollinators. Now my shisho them, you see guys, make sure you plant some shisho, I'm telling you. Yes, make sure you plant some shisho, because as you see, in the fall, we almost in the fall. Look at my bees, and where they're following the shisho. You see what I'm saying? Look how much in this one shisho. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them in this one shisho plant. So this is one the reason. This is one of my reasons Well, you need them to go to flowers because that's the bees them. That's when the bees come around. I know it's challenging. I don't, do you see monk to see the push? So you got to be careful if you have a small space. I could tell you that. But as far as we see in here, they do well. Yes, yes. You see, guys? You- David will say we like to talk about wait, hold on. But yes, guys, Shesho is a plant that, for what I see, it drop pollinators and they produce, one thing I want to say, they produce a lot of seeds, but they also is a beautiful plant because you could use the leaf in many ways. You could also leave the seeds. The Japanese use the leaf for tea and they also use the leaf in soup. So it's a beautiful plant that you should have. But what I'm saying is they produce a lot of seeds. Last year, my garden was full with them. I had also do a serious harvest trying to pull them out. This year, I was more in control. I use a lot in my raised bed. I use a lot of them for compost. But when they grow up young, I was taking them out and put them in my compost. And they also good in your compost as well. So it's a plan to think about, but just be careful of the seeds. And the seed germinate everywhere. They will grow up between your steps if you allow them. Between your steps, between stone, if you allow them. And the thing about it is they're cold hardy. They can start, not cold hardy, the seed. The seed will go through winter and still germinate. So be mindful of that, all right? So guys, I want to say thank you all. I hope this video was able to guide somebody today into starting a garden. I hope this video was able to motivate someone today. I don't know, for the people who now come, a tree, banana tree here, and you see I cut this one because I'm going to be protecting the body this winter because I don't want them to go right back down to the ground. All right, thank you, Fifi, appreciate that. Nice life. All right, guys, you guys take care, man, and have a blessed and wonderful day. And always remember, gardening is a challenge, but don't make the challenge overpower you. Always understand that you have the ability to change things, all right? If you find something did not work out well for you this year, try a different way the following year. But just don't give up because it did not work out for you, all right? So blessings to everyone. You guys have a blessed and wonderful day. Peace.